Welcome back to this channel, welcome back to this lock journey, guys. If you guys are new here, then subscribe down below. We've got a very interesting video and a very insightful and informative video today, so let's get into it. So today we've got a little interesting video. I think I got a comment back from a subscriber that asked me to recount my locks. I did so back when I was like 4 months into my journey, so we're going to redo that. And we're also, since we're on the topic, going to talk about starter lock methods and also just kind of partings, you feel me? So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I kind of like shifted to the side so that this little video on the side can happen, so you guys can watch me count my locks and everything. It should fade in about now. But while that's happening, just kind of pay attention to what I have to say, you feel me, about parting methods, about partings, and also about starter lock methods, because I feel like it's one of those like basic topics that I haven't actually kind of touched on or even kind of like talked about. And I hear a lot of you guys saying that you started with 2 strand twist, you started with coils, interlocking, and all of that shabazz, you feel me? So we might as well go through the whole process. I'll tell you a little bit about each of the 4, I think, or 5. We'll probably go over 5. I know there's like new ones popping up right now that people are doing and stuff like that. More popular ones like lock extensions and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about that, but I can tell you about the first 4 or the first 5, you feel me? I'm gonna go through that and I'll tell you the drawbacks and tell you what the positives of those hairstyles, you feel me? And at the same time, parting methods as well. Right now I've got, you're gonna see in the video, I've got roughly a decent amount of locks on my head. These are right now in a 2 strand twist, so they're actually slightly thinner than that. But if you can look at my parting, I'm dealing with a random parting right now because I wanted a more kind of, what do they call it? A more kind of natural, I don't know, sprouted kind of look with my locks. I didn't want it to kind of like so uniform. I just wanted it to kind of sporadic. If my hair sits on that side and my hair sits on this side, I didn't really care, you feel me? So that's how I wanted my locks, you feel me? Because I know that once it gets really long and mature, that it's just coming out my scalp in different kind of angles, and I can kind of then reshape it and go against the grain with my scalp. So the first thing that you want to do immediately, so if you're thinking of starting your starter locks right now, and the first thing you're kind of like contemplating is, oh, what do I need to start off with? The first thing, scrap that. The first thing you should kind of focusing on is, do you want to style your hair though? You understand? Do you care about frizzy hair? Do you care about your hair looking rough? You understand? How many times do you want to wash your hair? Do you want to be upkeeping your hair literally each week, or maybe every month, or you feel me? How active you are? How sporty are you? Are you on the gym 5 to 6 times? Are you jogging? Are you doing all that stuff? These are the things that you want to look into. Your type of hair, like what type of 4C hair, so your coarseness of your hair, how thick your hair is. I've got 4C hair. If you're rocking with say 3A hair or 4A hair, you understand, you might have a different pattern or a different, you might have a different starter lock method that you might want to consider, you feel me, that will benefit your lock style. So find all those things out first, you feel me, and also have an inspiration. What are your locks? What do you want your locks to look like in the future, you feel me? Don't just pick your favorite celebrity. Don't just pick your favorite person that you've been watching and you're thinking, nah man, I want my hair to look like that. That's all cool and all, but look, get multiple different people and actually kind of see if that kind of hairstyle or that kind of like lock journey at the end is going to be something that would fit you and fit your head shape and fit your face, you feel me? Because everyone's different, everyone's journey is different. So those are the first things that you kind of consider first, and then apply it to what I'm about to say. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna be talking about is, let's see what we got on here. The 2 strand twist. Now the 2 strand twist is something that I could have started, because I literally did a lot of 2 strand twists, especially with my afro hair. I had about what, 6 inches back then, you feel me? I would do a lot of 2 strand twists. I think I got a video on my YouTube channel of me doing 2 strand twists, and that's when I knew in my head, when I would do 2 strand twists, every time I look at myself in the mirror, I was like, okay, yeah, this is me. If I get this down patterned, I definitely need locks, you feel me? So 2 strand twist, starting your lock journey with 2 strand twist. The benefits of that method is that you can literally start it with the minimum amount of hair. I think you only need about 4 inches really to start a 2 strand twist, probably even less than that. But 4 inches of hair, boom, you got your 2 strand twist put together, you feel me? A 2 strand twist is gonna give you really strong and really thick locks. If you really want thick locks, go down the 2 strand twist method. The only drawback is that it's going to take like, probably let's say 6 months to like 2 years for that kind of pattern, the two-strand twist pattern, to kind of disappear and become kind of like uniform and just kind of stranded together, you feel me? So you don't have that kind of two-strand twist, you know, these kind of like ribbles in your locks, you feel me? If I was to leave this in right now, it'll probably take me about a good 2 years for this to kind of like cover all over, you feel me? I would definitely recommend a two-strand twist to people that have, let's say, more kind of like, let's say straightened hair or tampered hairs in a sense. What's the word? Straightened hair? more on the 3A, 3B, maybe 4A as well. You can do it if you're 4C too. It's gonna mat up really quickly, innit? But it's more if your hair is in that 3A, 3C range, or maybe even 2C maybe. You understand? Then yeah, why not start off with that kind of like style. When you first get your two-strand twist installed, do expect the endings to kind of unravel. So you will need to kind of maintain that quite regularly in the beginning until those ends kind of mat together. Then also you can also use like the comb curl technique to kind of like maintain it and continue that your lock journey from there. Or you can just kind of like palm roll, keep palm rolling, you feel me? And your locks should be uniform by the end of the year, I guess. You feel me? So on to the next one. Secondly, we're going into the comb curls, literally the most official starter lock method, pretty much. Like the comb curl technique is the most popular one. I'm pretty sure you've heard everyone literally talk about it. I started it off, I did a little comb curl and I interlocked it, you feel me? And the comb curl thing, let's just start off with the drawbacks immediately. Your locks are gonna look fucking tiny. Like if you go back to one of my first videos, my shit looks like a fucking pencil, bruh. That's my hair look like a fucking pencil. So the comb curl technique, that's the one kind of drawback that I would say. But everything else is literally a bonus. Like literally the comb curl is the go-to route, because literally it's the quickest. If you can start off with the comb curl curls with like 2 inches of hair, 3 inches of hair, like the smallest amount of hair. Like you've seen those guys with the little popos and the Cocoa Pops hair and stuff like that, and they're looking like maggots and shit. Yeah, you can literally start off with like 2 to 3 inches of hair, even 1 inch, you feel me? If you're really bad. If you're really bad, you can start off with 1 inch of hair. And literally it's the shortest kind of method. That's you're gonna have your hair budding in no time. Your hair's gonna be locking in no time. The moment your ends of the comb curl, I think they take about maybe 8 months. For me, it took about 8 months until my ends started to kind of bud together and it was just closed off. But once you get that first 8 months, that's it, your hair starts looking like locks, you feel me? Obviously, if you used to use this technique on longer hair, which is not advised, then it's going to take forever. Like if you have like about a good 12 inches of hair, comb curl technique is not the one you should be doing. You should probably be doing like a 2-strand twist or something to get you started off. But comb curls on short hair, that's the one. And if you want to start your journey, comb curls, you feel me? Start that ASAP. I thought there was only one drawback, but there's another drawback, which is not really a drawback. This is why I didn't really consider it. But it is with the comb curls, they do kind of like, what's the word, unravel in a sense. So a lot of people tend to not kind of like, they're sensitive to water. A lot of people tend to not kind of wash their hair. That's why you get that kind of saying where it's like, don't wash your hair, don't wash your hair, don't wash your hair. If you started the comb curl method, yeah, listen to that. Don't wash your hair for the first, what, 2-3 weeks, you understand? Until you're getting another retwist or another maintenance. Because if you wash your hair within that first week, progress gone. 2 weeks, progress gone. You understand? Wait for it to at least 3 weeks or 4 weeks, especially in that first month, you feel me, before you wash your hair and get it comb curled again, because it's very, very sensitive. It's literally your hair curled around really, really tightly, so it's gonna unravel by itself over time, you feel me? But putting water on it, it's literally just gonna completely dead the whole process. So that is a drawback, but it's not really in that first month, you feel me? Like after that, you should be calm, you feel me? The third starter lock method, which I haven't really heard too much of, is backcombing. Now backcombing is used for people that have, let's say 3A, 3C maybe, you feel me? 1A, 2A, 2C type of hair, very, very straight hair, you feel me? Regardless of your race, you can still produce straight hair as a black person, you feel me? So if your hair is quite straight and not really kind of curly, then this is the method for you. Backcombing is literally getting a comb and going against the grain, you feel me? You're going back up. It's almost like you're tangling your hair on purpose, you feel me? And obviously you go to a stylist, they all know what they're doing, you feel me? And they'll be basically backcombing your hair into a little mush, you feel me? And you can also kind of like tie that in with kind of like an interlocking to kind of smooth it out and make it kind of like the frizz put together. You understand? That's a really good method to put together. But yeah, backcombing is another way of making locks. You can backcomb it, palm roll it, you feel me? Backcomb it, interlock it to just kind of bring it into a uniform entanglement. But the thing about that is that you're gonna have to continuously maintain that kind of lock pattern because your hair is growing out straight. You feel me? So I would say that's one of the drawbacks right there. That maintenance is quite sticky, you feel me? Fourth one, which is my favorite, of course, you feel me, is the interlocking and sister locking, you feel me? Now this one, listen, let me not toot my own horn too much, you feel me? This method is a very beautiful method. Very, very beautiful method. I hear a lot of backlash. There's such a lot of backlash with interlocking. I don't know why. Like, if you have someone that knows what they're doing, listen, this method is the one, I'm telling you. But you just gotta find the right stylist. So like with interlocking, you can literally do it. Like, you can literally do interlocking with all types of hair. Obviously, if your hair is 4C, then people don't expect you to kind of do interlocking because your hair is gonna mat regardless. But literally, if your hair is, say, on the more straighter side, you've got that 3A, maybe 4A hair, then interlocking is the one. But the reason why interlocking people go for it is because it's so versatile, you feel me? It's like you're interlocking your hair into into a knot at the end, and it allows your hair to literally just be it natural. You understand? You can wash your hair as many times in the beginning stages. You can literally do a lot of different things. You can even kind of like do what I did. I comb coiled my hair, then I interlocked it just so I can start my process. Drawbacks with this hairstyle is, people say you get bumps. You get little bumps or little kind of ribs, and that's because the lock is not fully formed yet. It's not fully matured. Once it's matured, it does unify out. You feel me? So don't worry about those bumps. But in the beginning stages, it looks like you've just got bumps. Your hair is quite wiggly, or your hair is kind of like non-uniform, you feel me? But when I tell you about interlocks, one of the positives is that you can really section out your hair and have your hair grow in that kind of straight line, or that kind of, what's the word? I think that straight line, let's just say that straight line coming out your root, compared to all the other styles, which your hair just kind of like freely goes in this kind of way, and you just have this kind of freeform kind of look. But with like interlocking, you've got that straight, matured look right from the root, you feel me? Throughout your whole lock journey, it looks like your hair is just literally matured going through. Obviously, once you get past that kind of like big knotted kind of stage, it just looks like your hair is grown out uniform. Another drawback is that people say that it takes, what, 2 years plus for your hair to kind of mature, which I'm not too sure about that, but obviously I'm in my first year. I'm gonna find out soon, you feel me? I can definitely see myself in 2 years, definitely my hair looking matured then, you understand? So yeah, that is probably a drawback for it, that it's going to take 2 years for you to actually kind of look dreaded, you feel me? Or look matted, or whatever you wanna use, whatever word you wanna use, you feel me? Now the fifth and final one, I kind of skipped out the lock extensions because I'm not too really kind of sure on it and I'm keen on it, to be honest. But the last one I'm gonna go through is semi and freeformed locks, which is literally just letting your hair just do its thing. You feel me? Semi freeform, you probably might start off with getting your hair kind of like comb coiled or kind of like two-stranded twisted in the beginning. Then you just let it go, and you might do slight maintenance, slight tampering here and there. With freeform now, you're just literally letting your hair go. Like you're just letting it go. No tampering, no nothing. You just wash your hair every single day. You oil your hair every single day. Your hair does what it needs to do, you feel me? There's multiple drawbacks with all of those kind of like styles. But freeform and semi-form is literally got to do with your perspective on how you kind of see yourself, really. They all the styles do, but with these two particular ones, semi-freeform and freeform, it's really about how you kind of see yourself and your self-image. Because a lot of people might see it as just a bunch of matted hair, like comb it out, like cut it off, you feel me? But for you, it's completely different. You might see yourself as a very beautiful person, you feel me, while growing your hair. I said it's really hard to give this one a drawback. I would say it's the unpredictability or the uncertainty of knowing how your hair will turn out. You understand? That's the only drawback I can think of in terms of freeforming or semi-freeform. Semi-freeform, you can kind of guide your hair a tiny bit, you feel me? So it doesn't go crazy, you feel me? It doesn't just mat into one big lock, you feel me? Or two big locks. You understand? You can kind of guide it into maybe 3 or 4 different parts, you feel me? But with freeform, you literally just let your hair do its thing. You might have hair hanging on right here, you might have hair hanging down here, you might have a big lump right here, you understand? So it's kind of like hard to kind of like figure out what you're going to end up looking like in year 2, year 3, year 4. But then again, like I said, it's all a perspective kind of thing with the freeform kind of movement. So the benefit of it is that you literally just do what you want to do. You literally just let your hair be. Let your hair be. You wash your hair every day, oil your hair every day. You just let your hair be, man. Don't have to worry. I don't know about lint, you know. I really don't know about lint. I don't know if you wear a scarf or anything, but you literally just let your hair be. And I feel like that's one of the best things, really. That's why I kind of had an afro hair for the longest time, because I could just wash it, do anything to it, and just chill. You feel me? Comb it out, obviously, here and there if I wanted to. You understand? So that's a really, really good benefit right there. And yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna literally take the attention from E, and we're gonna focus on my hair, because right now we are literally reached the moment and truth of the lock count right now. I've tried to pack my hair into 5 lock bundles, and because they are in a 2-strand twist, each bundle means 10. So yeah, so right now we do have a few stragglers like this one, which we're gonna count right now. I think there's about 5 of them. So there's one right here that I've got on the side of my head, then another one. That's 2 stragglers that I couldn't really tie together because they were just, my estimation was quite bad. Oh, there's another one right here. Okay, so we've got 4 right here that can make a bundle, but we don't have the 5th one. So just to make you guys see, we've got 4 stragglers right here. 2, 4, and 6, and 8. That's 8 locks right here. Then there's 1 at the back, or 2. Nope, just 1 at the back. 1 at the back in the dead center of my hair right here. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. And that makes that the 10th lock. Now, all we have to do now is count the rest of these bundles now. So what we're gonna do to count the bundles, to make sure we're counting the bundles, it's harder than it thinks, I'm telling you. Let's take out each bundle, then we'll see. So we'll take out this first one right here. I'm gonna try not to make my hair any rougher than it is. So that's the first one. That's 1 bundle out. Take out the middle one. Oof. That's 2 bundles. Go for the next one. That's 3 bundles. This next one right here, that's 4 bundles. 4 bundles. Okay, we'll come back to this side right now. Take off this one. That's 5 bundles right now, plus the 10 locks in the beginning. So we're right now on 60. Now I don't know if you can see the back. Hopefully you guys can see the back. We'll take out another one. That's 70. Then this one. Oh God. That's 80. Then 90 right here. Then 100. 100 right here. So that's the number, guys. 100 locks. I got 100 locks, which means I've actually lost a couple. This is so weird to kind of like hair, because I feel like in the other video I had 102 locks, which was like completely weird. I mean, it wasn't weird back then, but like it was a lot to me back then. And because I had hair down here, which I formed into locks, which I can't really understand why I'm down locks. I'm expecting myself to be like 110 or at least 108, but I guess I'm on an even 100. Which is why like each strand had its own strand of itself. Now, guys, if I was to have, okay, so imagine these were in 2-strand twist, yeah? And if I was to just have them as a single lock, these are 50 locks on my head right now. So this is what 50 locks would look with my random parting. 50 locks will take up this much space, and that is how much it will look on my hair. If I was to get less than this, it would mean that these locks will be much bigger. So 30 to 40 will be much thicker locks, you understand, to be able to cover your hair, but they'll be much thicker, you understand? So start thinking about how much locks you want to do when you're trying to start your locks. You can tell your stylist you want to aim for maybe 40 to 60 range, you understand, for a more kind of even, thicker look. Or you can ask for maybe 60 to 100 range for the style that I've got. If you looked at previous videos where I have my hair out, or say you go to my last video, check my hair before I did my retwist. That's how thin your locks would. I don't really consider my hair thin, but it is on the thinner side. I'll say medium/thin side. That is 100 locks, you understand? So definitely kind of look into those ranges, 30, 60, and 100, you understand? So 30 being quite thick, you understand? Anything between 0 to 30, your locks are gonna be really, really thick. 30 to 60, you feel me? You got that thick kind of medium. Then 60 to 100 is that kind of medium to thin look, you understand? Then anything past 100, 150 to 200, yeah, you just going micro now. You're going micro, real micro. So kind of have that kind of in mind, and hopefully you guys make the right decision. Like I said, with most of these kind of like starter lock methods, you kind of maintain with the other. So if you start off with comb curls, you might end up maintaining with interlocking, you might end up maintaining with what do you call it, palm rolling. So did I really, oh yeah, I don't think I added palm rolling in the starter lock method. I don't think palm rolling is really kind of like a it is, you know, but palm rolling's weird. Palm rolling, yeah, it's a technique, it is a starter lock method, I guess. But I kind of consider it with kind of like comb curls, but okay, I guess palm rolling is one. But I kind of call it a kind of, palm rolling for me is more kind of a maintenance. But I don't know, argue with me down in the comments. But yeah, hopefully this video kind of helps you guys that are kind of coming in now and watching my videos and wondering what kind of style you want to do. This video, I wanted to kind of add in my lock count with the starter lock kind of parting and stuff like that, just to kind of make it make sense, you feel me, and give you guys more content than just me sitting down and counting my hair. So hopefully everything I said was right. I was referencing off a website, so please argue with the website. Don't argue with me, argue with the website, you feel me? I'm a pro at interlocking, but everything else is kind of like, yeah, I have to reference, because obviously I haven't had multiple styles in my head. But hopefully you guys get the gist, hopefully you guys understand what I said, and hopefully this video was helpful, and I will catch you guys in my next vlog, which I think is going to be an Irish snacks video. So definitely check that vlog out, and I'll see you guys later.